Ever since I was a kid, playing those classic Duck Hunt video games, I always wondered how did those guns work? And even now, it amazes me how they were able to come up with a technology capable of doing that with a cheap gun like this. Today is the day we finally learn how it works and how come those guns don't really work on LCD screens. While you'd think that the idea behind the gun is to find where you're aiming, the first design of the gun was far simpler than that. The actual components inside one of those guns mainly consist of a simple light sensor and a trigger. Have you ever noticed that every time you click that trigger, the screen flashes for a split second? We all thought that it was added effects for the gunshots. This screen flashing is vital for the gun to work. When you hit the trigger, the whole screen goes black and a white box appears where the duck is located. If your gun is aiming where the duck is, the light sensor would read white light and the gun knows that you've hit the target. If the light sensor reads black, it knows that you've missed and the dog pops up from the bushes and makes fun of your poor aiming. Do you think it's possible to turn this cheap technology into a stylus that you can use to write on screens? Well, they have done that too. It was called the Light Pen, and it wasn't very popular, but it had a very interesting design behind it. The pen didn't really know where you're pointing the pen on the screen, as much as when you were pointing it. Whenever a device wants to display a picture on a screen, it sends the data through the wire, 1 pixel at a time. The old TV used to display them as it receives them. That's how they used to work. At any given fraction of a second, it displayed only 1 pixel. But it did it so fast that you couldn't notice. So, when the pen touches the screen, it waits until it reads the light coming from the screen, and the time it took to receive that light corresponds to the pixel's location. The way LCDs work is by storing all coming pixels information on a memory chip and only display the image once it receives all of them. That's why the light pen doesn't work on them. This memory process creates a time lag, which is the reason why the light guns don't work on LCDs. It really intrigues me when I read about cheap, simple, and practical technology that we have used in the past. It reminds us of the value of ingenuity and good design.